I'm Stephanie, and welcome to Fiction Files. This is the playlist where I talk about all things writing, and I recently finished rewatching Sex and the City on Netflix. And while I do love the show, our main character, Carrie Bradshaw, well, she kind of sucks. And I wanted to talk about all the reasons why she sucks. So I decided to make a few special editions of Fiction Files that are character studies of popular main characters in books, TV shows, and movies, and understand what we can learn about protagonists through these characters. Because stories are inspirational. Change is hard. We want to see others overcome incredible circumstances and become better versions of themselves. We want to explore all it means to be human. We read, watch, and listen to stories to be moved. But characters like this just make me want to move a pen into my eye. Carrie is a character. I understand that. We're not perfect, and we want to see other imperfect people overcome their flaws and challenges. We want characters with flaws. But it's tough, because she also cannot be perfect, as we don't want Mary Sue's. It's a balancing act in creating a relatable, interesting, and flawed main character. But there are times when flawed characters become intolerable characters. Worse, these characters often never go through an arc, never develop, or change in any meaningful way. Worse still are characters that go backwards in their development or undo any meaningful change. And Carrie seems to fall into that first category, where she doesn't really develop or change throughout the series. She changes her hairstyle and boyfriends, sure, but she never does the work to overcome her flaws. There's even an episode where she goes to therapy for a few sessions and is basically all, well, I guess this is just me. She actively ignores the things that are causing problems in her life instead of confronting them and growing from that experience. For this character study of Carrie, I'm only looking at the original show, though I have to say how they wrote out Samantha in And Just Like That by saying she left because Carrie wouldn't be her ATM. Bitch, excuse me? You guilted Charlotte into giving you her engagement ring. If anyone treats their friends like money machines, it's you, Carrie. Sam was a self-made woman who actually did the work. But let's focus on what makes Carrie a very flawed, but again, an intolerable protagonist to follow. She has no agency. To put it another way, she takes no real accountability for her life or responsibility for her choices. She's not an agent of change in her own life. Her book is handed to her by a publisher. Paris is handed to her by her rich boyfriend. She spent all of her money on shoes, so her friends better get to writing some checks to cover her down payment. Things simply happen to her. She's passive in her own life. And that's boring. Main characters need to be responsible for making the plot happen. She's self-serving. Let's be honest, we can all be selfish and we can all suffer from main character syndrome from time to time. But Carrie is so self-centered that everything becomes about her. Charlotte has exciting news? Well, not today, Charlotte. Carrie was broken up with last night, and that's more important than your engagement. Her friends are having a conversation? Better interrupt it and ask for their opinions on her butt-ugly purse. Miranda is struggling with being a new mom? Better bore her with Carrie's petty issues. At the end of the day, Carrie is a terrible friend. She abandons Charlotte while she's blindfolded in a mall to answer her phone. She's on the phone and doesn't think to try and call Charlotte to find her because she found some cute shoes for her hot date. Fuck Charlotte, who was trying to figure out if she could be a volunteer. She's honestly even worse to Stanford. I honestly don't know why he puts up with her. She never asks about who he's dating, never cares about his life, and only seems to like him because he hypes her up and is her trophy gay friend. She'll drop him like a hot potato and invites people to things right in front of him and then says he can't come. Stanford, tie her to a chair and let Marcus practice his high kicks for a few minutes. She makes these grand speeches about how she loves her friends, but I think she loves how her friends make her feel, because it always comes back to her and her issues. Again, I get she's the main character, but my God. And it's even worse with some of her boyfriends. I mean, honestly, poor Aiden, he really got the short end of the stick. She cheats on him and then expects he'll immediately forgive her when she gets bored and realizes, hey, you know what? He actually was a good guy and he looks really hot now and maybe they should date again. She then continues her relationship with Mr. Big, which makes Aiden uncomfortable, but she tells Aiden to suck it up when Big comes over to Aiden's country house and is uncompromising when Aiden moves in and asks for some closet space. How dare he try to put his stuff somewhere? That's her closet. But how dare he also leave his stuff in boxes everywhere? He should just have nothing. That would be so much more convenient for her. She can't sacrifice anything for this relationship. She's just very entitled and expects everyone to bend to her will and fulfill every wish and desire of hers. She lashes out. So not only does she expect others to fall in line with her and her way of thinking, but if they don't, she lashes out at them and will make them pay. She can tell others exactly how it is and call out their faults, but they better not be honest with her about hers. She's also just plain rude. Sam gets her chemical peel and tries to back out of an event, but Carrie begs her to come, and then Carrie freaks out and tells her to leave. She warned you. She also forces Sam to get out of the bathtub so she can bang Big after Sam was a good friend and went all the way to California to support Carrie. She doesn't learn. Carrie is a person who puts her hand on a hot stove and shouts, "Ow!" But then the very next scene, she touches the stove again and is shocked, I tell you, that she got burned. She just goes in circles. And after a while, that's a Ferris wheel I just want to get off of. This is not good writing. She has to learn. Her affair with Big alone could demonstrate how she doesn't learn from her mistakes. She also can't take any criticism and then obsesses. When she gets a rave review of her book by Michiko Kakutani, she can't let one little comment go and then blows it up into an even bigger thing of, what if people are saying mean things about Carrie? Hey, hi, it's me. I'm saying mean things about Carrie. But that same episode leads her to worrying about this woman, Nina, who's a celebrity booker on SNL, who dated Aiden right after Carrie, and Carrie is worried that Nina's bad-mouthing her. Carrie, sweetie, you are not the center of the universe. No one cares. Unlike you, Nina probably can talk about other topics besides what a horrendous person you are. And maybe that should be a wake-up call. If you're worried people are talking about you and your bad behavior, maybe change some of your behaviors. Just a suggestion. She just feels so sorry for herself over things that she can change and learn from. But throwing a pity party is easier. She hates that an editor edited her first article for Vogue and didn't understand Carrie's stupid sense of humor. She hates the idea of Natasha hating her because she slept with Natasha's husband, and she literally runs away when Aiden points out that she's the one who broke his heart. Even Matthew McConaughey asked, "What's wrong with Carrie?" Everything, Matthew, everything. There's also another thing I noticed throughout the 6 seasons, in that Carrie won't offer advice, or not much of it, but demands it from her friends. She asks what she should do in certain situations, but when her friends ask her the same, she's all, "Only you can decide," or "That's up to you." Which, fair, it is up to others to decide for themselves. But it's a bit much when Carrie badgers them to tell her what to do when she's a fully grown adult, but refuses to return the favor and be a good friend. Her job makes no sense. I fault both Carrie the character and the writers for this one. Why? Why is her job writing a sex and relationship column when our sexpert is so closed off and awful when it comes to other people's sexualities? She slut-shames her friends, but has the exact same sex life as them. She's extremely narrow-minded and says that being bisexual is just a layover to gay town and makes fun of Sam for dating Maria. And somehow her sex column, which the damn show is named after, slowly evolves into a relationship column, like she's embarrassed about her job. Honey, boo, you picked it. You can quit and stop writing the column if you're embarrassed by it. Her job started as a framing device, but then I don't know what happened. Her column was supposed to be fun and sexy, but Carrie herself is so judgmental that I can't imagine the column is any good. I honestly don't know why they didn't have Sam write the column or be her editor or something, and she brings Carrie out of her shell as a writer and in her own sex life. But Sam is the best character on the show, so I wish a lot of things were more focused on her than Carrie, but that's life, I guess. I also have to ask, did she actually use her friends' real names in the column? I'm sure Sam wouldn't mind, but it seems like something Miranda and Charlotte would be opposed to. The voiceover is supposed to be her column, right? As the series progressed, all of the girls evolved, except Carrie. Miranda became more confident, more understanding, and less cynical. She learned it's okay to rely on others and be vulnerable, and find joy in the small things. Basically, she unclenched and became more open to everything. Samantha let herself fall in love and be loved in return, realized her inner strength in her battle with breast cancer, and never let other people's opinions of her change the way she felt about herself. Charlotte learned that it's not about having a Mr. Perfect to go with her perfect life, but having a more meaningful marriage with someone who loves her and wants the same things as her and encourages her to grow. She let go of her idea of a perfect life and embraced one that didn't look like what she expected, but was exactly what she needed. Carrie stayed self-absorbed, stubborn, and stupid throughout. She doesn't seem to develop. Minus the change in clothes and hair, Carrie in the series finale is very similar to Carrie in the pilot episode. Carrie is the main character. She should be leading the charge on her character arc. She should have overcome her flaws, or at least acknowledged them and worked on them. Any growth she has over the series is shallow or kind of dismissed. It's not meaningful. And I want main characters to have stories that mean something. Again, I have to say, Samantha was the real MVP of this friend group. She literally gave Miranda a spa day and babysat her kid, even though she was obviously not great with kids. She never judged Carrie for cheating, and she often drops everything she's got going to attend her friends' needs. Samantha was always there for the three of them, even if they were judgmental of her. Carrie Bradshaw is most definitely flawed. Flaws are good. Flaws make us human. But stories are meant to be about overcoming those flaws and choosing to become better versions of ourselves. Carrie never puts in any effort. Why should I root for someone who doesn't even try but expects a happy ending? She doesn't deserve it. As writers, we need readers or viewers to know our main characters deserve a happy ending and want to see our main characters get rewarded for overcoming their challenges and struggles. But tell me, what do you think of the character of Carrie? Hate her? Love her? Ambivalent about her? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching this character study episode of Fiction Files.